Well, a response now from the head of the United Nations. Ban Ki-moon has called on Israel to end what he's calling its clearly excessive military assault on Gaza. Ban Ki-moon says ongoing conflict will have serious implications for stability in the region.
We must insist that Israel end this military assault, which is clearly excessive. We must insist that Hamas end immediately its rocket attacks, which are so terribly counterproductive, in addition to being completely unacceptable. There must be an immediate ceasefire, durable and fully respected by all.
Meanwhile, a number of Arab foreign ministers are gathering in New York to call for a permanent solution to the conflict between Israel and Hamas. Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas is also due to arrive on Tuesday. He hopes the Council will adopt a revamped Arab-backed resolution. Earlier this week, Palestinian authorities urged the UN Security Council to adopt a resolution for an immediate end to Israeli attacks and a permanent ceasefire. But the United States is still sticking to its defense of Israel, saying the resolution does not call for an end to Hamas fighters sending rockets into Israeli towns. Australian Prime Minister Kevin Rudd is calling for a diplomatic solution to bring an immediate ceasefire to Gaza. Meanwhile, protesters around the world continue to condemn the Israeli offensive. Here's Lee Cheong with more.
Rudd said his government recognizes Israel's right of self-defense, but supports a diplomatic solution to bring an immediate ceasefire.
Australia is deeply concerned by continued violence in Gaza and in southern Israel. Australia recognises Israel's right to self-defence, while we call on all parties to avoid any actions which result in unnecessary suffering or increased suffering on the part of innocent civilians.
Rudd also called on Israel to open border crossings into Gaza and ensure residents there have basic human rights. Those include access to food, medical supplies, and humanitarian assistance. Meanwhile, thousands of people rallied in cities across the U.S. on Sunday and protested against Israel's attacks. In Washington, D.C., protesters gathered outside the Capitol building and demanded that Congress call for an immediate ceasefire and for Israel to withdraw its ground troops from the Gaza Strip. They also urged Congress to allow humanitarian supplies and aid workers to enter Gaza. And demonstrators across Europe and Asia have marched and rallied to demand an end to the attacks. Li Qiong, CCTV.
Oh, this is News Hour only on CCTV International. Business news and more just ahead. China's finance minister reveals fiscal revenue growth of 19% last year, but predicts a tough 2009. And U.S. President-elect Barack Obama says he expects to sign a bill to create 3 million jobs as soon as he is sworn in.